Hi, my name is Kiran, and thank you for joining me to talk about my exhibition, Maharani Mentality. I'd like to start with the Land Acknowledgement, as this exhibition takes place on Treaty 7 territory, and this is the ancestral and traditional territory of the Blackfoot Confederacy, which includes the Kenai, Piikani, and Siksika First Nation, as well as the Stoney Nakoda First Nation and the Tsuut'ina First Nation. As people of this earth, a lot of us can appreciate the fact that much of our identity is tied to the land. I identify as a Punjabi-Canadian woman, and as a multidisciplinary artist at heart, I have a professional background in the fine arts and architecture. My work primarily responds to the politics of identity and the landscapes in which we are situated. So, a little about what I do. I'm personally really interested in public art and making art accessible. I'm interested in large-scale work and murals, as well as amplifying the voices of minorities and people of color, while working to also decolonize Western frameworks of how identity is accepted and perceived. This is exciting for me to talk about the stories behind the pieces, but I would also love for you to dissect your own meaning, as there's so many layers to the artwork. The exhibition title, Maharani Mentality, translates to the mindset of a queen or a divine being. This was chosen with the idea of empowerment in mind, which is a theme important to me throughout my practice. The exhibition includes a few series of work, of which I am going to give a brief overview. So the first is the Maharani Series, which is a black and white acrylic series, where you have these very expressive eyes, along with a sense of timelessness and mystery that I tried to capture. These personify the Maharani throughout daily life. The second series is titled Am the Diaspora, and this is a series of 3 intaglio prints on cultural fabrics. These really speak to the internal battles of a dual identity, especially being a Punjabi woman raised in Canada, and how the Eastern and Western conflict and collide. Then comes the Virtual Conscience collection, which is an experimental fusion for me of the physical and digital arts. These also have digital counterparts, which are known as non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. This series is basically a play on the aspect of a virtual identity and how morality follows us into our digital personas. Virtual Conscience is also inspired by the universal virtues of Sikhism, of which include patience, courage, humility, and wisdom, which also happen to be the names of the artwork in the series. And finally, my largest work in this exhibition is titled Love for Humanity. And this is another virtue, but also a tribute to the farmers' protests in Delhi, and a way to show solidarity from abroad. This mural is a personal project for me to really amplify the farmers' protests in India, of which Indian farmers have been in the forefront of protesting for the right to a simple life. I come from a family of farmers, and I can say that firsthand, our identity is so integrated with the land, the animals, and the community. From the time that this is filmed, it has been well over 6 months straight that our grandmothers and our grandfathers have been sitting at the borders of Delhi through the pouring rain, the wind, and the scorching sun. They have been sleeping under their tractors and preparing langar or free meals every day as a community. This is representative of their spirit and their resiliency in fighting for the future generations. Farming laws are being pushed forcefully by the Indian government, which would completely change the outcome of their lives, becoming victim to corporations erasing the security of minimum stock prices, with many smaller scale farmers forced to leave their ancestral lands. Identity, whether that be on an individual or community level, is powerful, confusing, conflicting, and inspiring. I aim to empower others to embrace all that they are. Welcome, and thank you to the team at Arts Place for the opportunity to showcase my work. I hope you enjoy.